Good morning and welcome to the Good Morning News. Today is January 27th. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated.
Today's lunch is popcorn chicken. Tomorrow will be pizza.
This week's wow word is justify. Justify means to provide a good reason for something.
This week's PBS reward is snow cones for 15 e-learnings.
Next week, we will have cafeteria games for 15 e-learnings.
It's Literacy Week. Tomorrow is read-a-thon. Make sure you bring your money and if you want popcorn while you read.
Look who made that iReady goal in reading week of January 10th through January 14th. Mrs. Herrera's class,
Miss Huckabee's class,
Mrs. Hull's class,
Miss Kinderman's class,
Mrs. Talada's class,
Mrs. Curtis' class,
Mrs. Escobedo's class,
Miss Stevens' class,
Mrs. Davis' class,
Mrs. Dill's class,
Mrs. Bowen's class,
Mrs. Carmona's class,
Mrs. Parrish's class,
Mrs. Reyes' class,
Mrs. Cervantes' class,
Mrs. Cintron's class,
Mrs. Hogan's class.
and Mrs. White's class.
Lessons passed 19,013 year this.
Look who made the iReady goal in math week of January 10th through January 14th. Mrs. A. Gutierrez's class,
Mrs. M. Gutierrez's class,
Mrs. Herrera's class,
Mrs. Huckabee's class,
Mrs. Kinderman's class,
Mrs. Talada's class,
Mrs. Cruz's class,
Mrs. Curtis' class,
Mrs. Escobedo's class,
Mrs. Stevens' class,
Mrs. Anderson's class,
Mrs. Davis's class,
Mrs. Dill's class,
Mrs. Bowen's class,
Mrs. Carmona's class,
Mrs. Parrish's class,
Mrs. Reyes' class,
Mrs. Cervantes' class,
Mrs. Cintron's class,
Mrs. Hogan's class.
and Miss White's class. Lessons passed 15,614.
Remember to follow your ego expectations. Be responsible, be respectful, be safe, be prepared, and be present.
That's our show for today. Teachers, please do your attendance and lunch count when the tardy bell rings. Bye!